All right. And good afternoon, and welcome everyone to Truly Live with your host, co host, Oliver and Yolanda Blue. And we do apologize for the technical delay, but we are here. Let me make sure that you can hear us. They may not be able to hear us. Let's see here. There we go. You should be able to hear us now. How about that? How about that? We do apologize for the delay, but we're glad to be here tonight on this special occasion. And we got something in store for all of our platforms tonight. And we can exhale now, right? But anyway, good to see you.
Hello,
I know you've been out and about.
with my dad.
Yes. So welcome patrons, welcome family, welcome friends. If you're out there, our chats are live, especially our patrons. How about dropping a note in the link that yes, you're here and that you can hear us and that you can see us, and we won't delay much longer. We're going to bring our guest on for tonight so that we can hear um, this great story and the things that's going on in her life. And wow, we're just glad to be back here. We've been off of this bicycle about, I guess it's been 2 months since we've been out here live with our show, but we have been live, and we've just been in community with our patrons. But we're excited tonight for what is going to take place, and let's just get started.
All right.
So we always like to start our anything that we do um, with a little gratitude, because gratitude will get you everywhere. And we like to always bathe our show, our environment with gratitude, because it puts us in the present moment, and it puts us in direct connection with the source of all life, the one that breathes all of us. And so I like to start off by saying that I'm so happy and grateful for our special guest tonight, Terry, and I'm also happy and grateful for the fact that my mother is celebrating her 91st birthday, and
And
uh,
you're as excited as if it were your
and I'm as
birthday.
excited as if it was my very own. And so, what are you happy and grateful for?
Oh, I'm happy and grateful for safe travels. 'Cause I was on that highway.
Wow. All right. Well, we're not going to delay. Uh, Let me send this link, and then we'll be in business.
Okay. I thought that was not done.
That's
Okay.
already done now. All right, here we
All
go.
right.
All right, here we go. All right, without any further ado, we want to bring our guests for tonight. And first of all, we like to say that Terry is on the West Coast, and so it is in the early afternoon out there. But in reality, we're all in this one time zone called the present moment. And Terry comes to us tonight to share her story, and she's a international best-selling author. She's a professional coach, and Terry also is a conference speaker. And tonight, we're just going to let her share with us. And so we're going to bring her right onto the stage. Ta-da!
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hey,
Hi,
Oliver. Hey, Londa.
Terry. Very nice to see you.
So good seeing you too. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we thank you for uh, saying yes to the invite, and I'm just we've been anticipating this all day and been working behind the scenes to make it happen, and here we are. So thank you so much for being here.
So, are we going to go ahead and do our official introduction here?
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
so let's do this, Terry. All right, for the Truly Live community, hello, hello, Bob and Carol. We see you guys are on as well. Terri Wade is an award winning spiritual coach, a professional speaker, the founder of Tuesdays with Terry, and an international best selling author. She is certified in positive psychology coaching and 21st century leadership skills. Terry teaches about mindset, metaphysics, and practical knowledge on how to improve overall well being. She has a new book, A to Z Happy, that's releasing in the next couple of weeks. So, let's see, Oliver, I think you've met Terry on several occasions in the Lisa Natoli and the
Community.
Sawyers community. That's good people to be with, to
That
be
means
hanging out with.
that means she's family, right?
That means she, yes, yeah. So, and she's also a Lisa Nichols mentee. We did we flew out to San Diego and did a speak and write with Lisa Nichols.
Back in 2017. In fact, it was back in 2017 when we were out in San Diego for a 3-day event with Lisa that I said yes to becoming a coach.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
So welcome, Terry.
Ah, thank you. We have so many similarities. There's no coincidences, right? But yeah, I went to Speak and Write to Make Millions in 2019, and that's how I got connected with Lisa Nichols. And so that is amazing. And I love the intro. Love is enough. That is my motto too. And in A to Z Happy, the book is every different letters of the alphabet. So we have love. We also have gratitude. You express your gratitude. And then also the N is for now. And you were talking about the present moment is all we have. So there's
Oh,
just so
wow.
many, yeah, so many just synchronicities before we even get
So,
started.
okay, so then let's see this. What's your T for?
You test me.
Well,
Ah,
no, no,
no,
no.
I'm just kidding. I have it right here, so I do know
Yeah.
it's trust. Trust.
Okay, trust. I
Yeah.
was just wondering because if your T said truly, I was going to say, "Oh my goodness."
Yes.
that
I
was
know, right?
that was all. It was not a test. It was not a test.
Hey,
Sometimes people test me. They're like, "What's the X? What's the Q?"
that would be nice. Can you do a quick edit before it hits the press?
Just change that.
Well, Terry, well, thank you so much. Now, you didn't just wake up one day and to write this book, but I'm sure there's a whole story and journey behind that.
Oh yeah.
Because from my experience, most people that decide to write a book, there's something that motivates them to write that book, and a lot of it has to do with their journey. And
Okay.
so, just for our audience, why don't you kind of give us some background on how you got to this point
Yeah.
in any fashion you want to.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's so true. The reason why I wanted this book to come out, and I talk about it in the introduction, is I wasn't always a happy person. I feel like I was born pretty happy, and then the world started happening to me. And by what I mean by that is when I was 8 years old, I was bullied a lot by my stepsisters. I was actually living this Cinderella type lifestyle, two stepsisters, the stepmom. My mom was in rehab at the time. My dad worked around the clock to give us the good life. His love language was gifts, and so now I get it, but back then I just wanted the quality time because that's my love language. And so he wasn't there, and with all the bullying, I thought maybe I'm a problem because I was being bullied, and I thought that I just didn't, if this is life, I just didn't want to live it. I was like, and I was only 8 years old, so I actually went, I just had a whole plan to actually end my life. I was like, I don't even want to live if this is life. And so from being in that dark place and then being able to come out of it, most people that see me say I'm one of the happiest people they've ever met. So for someone to have been, like suicidal to loving life, like every day I just wake up like today's a good day. I'm thankful to be alive. Thank you, God. And so what changed is, so I had created that plan and then I went to therapy. And so my dad had heard the plan, from my friend who I had told, and so right away went to therapy. So that was awesome for my dad. And I don't remember what happened in therapy, but Maya Angelou says we don't remember exactly what people say or what they do, but we'll always remember how they made us feel. And in therapy, I felt seen. I felt like I mattered. My voice mattered. That who I was mattered, and so slowly started to build my confidence. And then another thing is when my mom had gotten out of rehab, she said, just fake it till you make it. And that was that was her best advice. I was like, okay. So I just put a smile on my face. And little did I know that smiling releases dopamine. So, the S is smile in my book.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so the dopamine would just start coming out, and I would just start smiling. People around me would smile, and so it just raised my vibration, and I started just getting in a good mood. So I faked it, and then I really became it.
Yeah.
So now I like the be it till you become it more than fake it, because our words are so powerful. There's so much power in the
Yes.
word,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that's a little bit about how it started. But I know there's people out there that are still, there's suicidal people, there's suicides happening, people are depressed. And so I wrote this book for the people that are down and out and they don't see the light. And I want to let them know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, that's wonderful. So to be in that state of mind at 8 years old,
Mhm.
that's a lot. Especially when you're not even really old enough to process or understand. But you knew that that was not the state that you wanted to be in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, well, I didn't really know too much. But I just knew in therapy I was feeling like there was hope and feeling like life was getting better. And then as it started getting better and I started feeling better, this is why when you have a positive attitude and positive emotions, I feel like what you focus on grows. And now I've done so much personal development. You mentioned Lisa Nichols. I love the movie The Secret, Law of Attraction, Law of
Yes,
Vibration. I actually
yes, yes.
hired. Do you love Lisa too?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And we teach a lot about the well, so I have a scientific background, so
Oh,
all the science in that, makes a lot of sense to me. And people don't realize that what you focus on is what you are attracting to yourself. So when you were faking it and putting the smile on your face, you were actually attracting all of that to yourself. As you know, you were attracting all of that to yourself. And so that's how, energy grows wherever energy goes. And so there
yeah.
you were growing all that smiling happy.
Yes, exactly. So I started just digging into, yeah, Lisa Nichols. I also, after The Secret, I hired Bob Proctor too as a
Yeah,
mentor. The Thinking into Results program. That's when you said I'm so happy and grateful. I'm like, do you know Bob Proctor?
we do. We do. We do know Bob. Bob is,
Since 2011.
yep, yep,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah, so we kind of journey along some of the same
Yeah.
paths,
Yeah.
and but the amazing thing is that you realize you needed support early in your life because and
Mhm.
this is and I don't know what it is, but it's like a cultural thing in our country where like you spent all this time in California, right?
Yeah. No,
And
like,
it seems like the people in the West is like more open to get support. Whereas like I've been in the South, Southeast all my life. And we like suffering in silence, right?
Well,
mhm.
we also have a
Yeah.
culture. We have a religious culture
Yeah.
that kind of keeps people there too,
Yeah.
not understanding that we are praying people. We believe in prayer. We know the power of it. We know, and it's because we know the faith and the hope in it, the expectation in it. We know that. Um, but we also know that the creator of all things has made certain that there is help for us in every
In
arena.
every
And
arena.
so that means that these medical professionals, therapists, counselors, that's help for us too.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes we need to be able to talk it out so
Right.
that someone else can help us to see what we can't see because we're in the forest, so we can't see all the trees.
Yeah,
Right.
it's so true. It's so true. And I think the best teacher, for me is Holy Spirit now that I've gotten onto my spiritual journey. And I wasn't always a spiritual person. I think a lot of me learning my spiritual path has made me so much happier. And I talk a lot about that in the book. And I actually the book took me about 4 years to write. Speak and write, that's kind of when the idea got sparked in 2019. I was like, oh, I want to write something. So this A to Z Happy came to mind. And that's when I was doing Bob Proctor's Thinking into Results program. So I was all about the mind, and the mind's going to create my reality. What you focus on grows, the reprogramming your subconscious mind, changing your paradigms. So the book was really very focused on mindset and how to live happy in the world. And then I got into Course in Miracles, and I got on the spiritual path. And with the spiritual path, I love it. I learned, it's even a deeper level of joy, not just surface level being happy in the world, but eternal joy and lasting joy. Because if something of the world goes wrong, which it always does, I mean, things always break down, people die. I mean, the world is going to just, everything in it is going to either break, die. I mean, it's not a world of truth.
It's temporary.
Temporary,
Yeah, it's
exactly. Yeah,
temporary. Yeah.
definitely. So having that knowing happiness that I got from A Course in Miracles was the start of my spiritual foundation. And then I've just been meditating, and that's brought a lot of peace and joy. And then being able to know I'm not alone and ask that infinite wisdom, the Holy Spirit within me, like, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to who? And so I'm walking out my days knowing I'm not alone, and I don't have to do this alone, and I can be supported and guided if I'm open to receiving that. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
huge
And see,
reason for happiness.
so us being here in this southeast area, we got that in church.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that in church, and so we grew up knowing. Well, it was the confidence that we had that we were not here alone, but that there was a guide that was here to not just guide us, but to comfort us, and that would lead us. And so and knowing that our steps, are ordered and blessed. So we got that in church. I mean, I don't know what. Well, of course, all of our spiritual journeys are different. But as a result of that, I mean, I ended up reading the Bible. Well, I read everything when I was little. And so I would read the dictionary. And so I read the Bible just like I was reading the dictionary. I was reading it for scholarship. And so my dad said to me once, he was like, you need to read that book a little differently. And I was like, well, how should I? He said, you need to read it to understand, not for scholarship, but you need to read it to understand, because there's all kinds of great things in there. So, but there were a few things that stood out for me. And so those few scriptures, those were the ones that we used to, that got us through a whole lot of stuff. But one of the things that we knew was that we were not alone. We were not alone, and that that the Creator was on our side. He wasn't angry, because I had thought he was angry with us, but no, no, no. So yeah, that people don't want to be spiritual, but we are who we are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it definitely helped me. And I was happy before I was spiritual, because I didn't get into spirituality till about 2011. But I did want to share it. So you had mentioned in the South, we definitely have that more openness. But even in our culture, I know with my aunts growing up, there's that strong Black woman where you got to wear the cape and do all the things and not complain. And so it is nice to be able to just be true to yourself and really like express yourself if you need to. So if you need help, there's no shame in that, and we're not meant to do it alone. So I just wanted to put
Exactly.
that little
Oh
nugget
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Now we women will do that. It's quite different for the men, who are supposed to be the protectors and the providers, and be strong, all of
Yeah,
that.
strong
And
man.
so they will resist, you know, getting support,
Yeah.
because I mean, women, we already know, we're doing a lot of things. We're wearing a lot of hats. We've got a lot of irons in the fire, and all of them are hot. all the irons are
Yeah.
hot because the fire is hot, and there's so much
Yeah.
that has to be done. So we will get support, but it's a little different for the guys. It's different for them, and so they will, they'll resist. So anytime I hear a man who has said, "Hey, I've decided that I'm going to go speak to someone," I am like applauding them and saying, "Yes, it's courageous, it's brave, it's strong, and it makes you stronger."
It does. It really does, and yeah, there's so many tools and techniques to well-being. Just I learned in positive psychology, so that's where the science background comes in, because we're here, living this in the body. And so I learned so much about our health. Even just today I learned something about how gut health helps with your serotonin levels, and that's a happiness chemical in your brain.
Listen, that gut is so vital to absolutely every system in the body.
It's the central
It
station,
is.
right?
It is. So, and and people don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to do anything about it. But if you're not, well, we'll say what our dentist office has this little thing up, and it says, if you're not true to your teeth, they'll be false to you. So, so now that was with teeth, but the principle applies. So if you're not true to your gut, then it's going to be false to you as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
Man, it's
that's
so
the
true. Yeah.
yes, that's the area we've learned that that's the area of our body makeup where the energy center is, and it distribute the energy throughout the entire body. And
That
so if
solar plexus is
the solar
down there in
plexus,
that
yes.
area. So
So if that is not free to extend this energy to other parts of the body because it is compacted or backed up or whatever you want to say, then you can't. The other parts of the bodies are not getting sufficient energy.
yeah,
So you're correct.
Mhm.
That gut health is so important.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
need to
and
do
even
we need to do a live show just on gut health.
Oh my
yeah, I know. It sounds like you got a lot of knowledge. I just heard this little tidbit today, and I was like, "Oh, I'm talking about happiness." So if it comes up, I'll just mention it. But yeah, it's so true. I'm actually doing a challenge right now with this mentor I have, and we're doing, waking up early, drinking a shot of salt water, doing a cold shower, and then no screen time before bed, and maybe reading a book. So all these things that just help us to be our best possible self. And so you might not know that, or you might not realize how it's affecting you if
Mhm.
you're hitting snooze, sleeping in longer than you even need to. So there's like all these things on a physical level we can do to really
Oh yes.
make us feel better and
Oh
boost our
yeah.
energy, just like with our happiness. So definitely what we're eating, doing exercise that releases the stress that's built up in you, and also releases dopamine too,
Yeah.
to be happier.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, your smile is infectious.
Very.
Which is a good thing, because that means that that light you're shining and people get to see. And when what happens with light, it attracts
Mm.
all kinds of great stuff to it. So good for you.
Thanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, you've had a lot of um, you've had a lot of mentoring. I mean, I can hear it. From the people you've been around, the communities you've been in, and that's where we met. We met in transformational communities,
Yeah.
and so what was it? What was the moment that you made that shift? I mean, what I know the early trauma you
Yeah.
had, but then there were still some things that kind of pushed you into that. What was that? What was that like?
That's Yeah, that's really good. I'm trying to think, is there a defining moment that I had where I was like, I want to change my life? I think sometimes you have to just get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and not that, like, I wasn't in a bad place, but I feel like I had so much potential. I had this message I wanted to share with the world. I'm seeing people around me suffering. I just wasn't living in abundance, and I felt like we abundance is our birthright, and I've heard it before, but I felt like I wasn't living it. And so
Yeah.
I think I just got to the point where I was like, just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so then, having the mentors and even knowing what to do and not doing it, that was
Yeah.
frustrating. So,
Yeah.
right, like, and
Yeah.
then we know so much more than we're doing, but it's like, why aren't you doing it? And so, I think it was just this point of like, I'm meant for more. And then, when was that? Maybe a couple years ago. And also, so I probably even before that, because 2020 is when my mom passed away, and I feel like when that happened, that that changed, in a different way. But probably my personal development story started, I would say, 2016. That's 2016, 2017, after I got my MBA, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And so I think then it was like, I got to figure out something.
Yeah.
And I got a couple mentors, and I followed exactly what they said I should do, but it wasn't in line with what I felt was true to what would light me up and bring me joy. Because
Yes.
I think, when we are lit up, then we light up others. It's like
That's
that
right.
Mary Williamson quote. Our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Oh,
And
we love Marianne as well.
and so, and I think it's like, and I think Lisa Nichols says this too, but like she was teaching motivation and abundance, and then she was so good at speaking that people were like, tell me your speaking techniques, like, like we want to learn the speaking techniques. And so she didn't realize that was her big business there, because it was so natural and so easy to her. And so I feel like I was making it so hard for myself, like
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I making this so hard? And I'm trying to learn everything to try to teach people. And it's like I have so much wisdom already within me, around
Right.
happiness. People are like, oh, you're so happy. How do I become happy like you? So yeah, it was just really like being true to myself and understanding like what lights me up. And we all have different desires and different unique gifts, and so just staying true to that and being in line with that. And so, okay, you were saying a defining moment, so basically being sick and tired. And another one was I was in a relationship for about 6 years, and then he had left. And so, like, in a way that was like, like we never met before. It was kind of crazy the way that he left. But that actually gave me a lot of like reflection inwards, because I was like putting so much of my worth on other people, so much of my worth on outside circumstances, and then I mean, that doesn't define me. And so I think that was another big defining moment where I was like, it was almost like a restart, because you're with someone for so long, and then it's like, we just do everything together. So now it's like, now what? Who am I? What do I like to do? And what do I want to accomplish? Who do I want to be? How do I want my life to go? And that's kind of actually when everything started, now that I'm thinking of the timeline, because I had been out of school for about a year. And then that's when, I did the Lisa Nichols, started the Course in Miracles, and really got into personal development, because I was really trying to find out who I am, what I want for this life, that we're living. So that was basically the moment.
Wow.
Outstanding.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's
So
so isn't it amazing how we all go through, so we all think that we're so different, or that we're alone.
Yeah,
And we really are very much alike. Um
so much.
I remember when we were married, and I kept thinking, boy, this is so much harder than I
and you
could.
bargained for.
Yeah, I just, I was like, and I never really studied my parents, but and of course, they had, their situation, but I just knew, of course, hey, we can get this done. I mean, right? I mean, it's just not the hardest thing in the world. I mean, look how many people are married, and then someone said to me, "Yeah, but look at the number of people that are divorced." I never considered that. I mean,
Yeah,
I just never considered that. But I remember, just being so tired. I mean, I was physically just so tired because there was so much to do, and I was trying to do it all, and just all of that. And I remember thinking, my life changed when I married him. Well, it did. It did change when I married him, but um he was not my problem. He was not, and I kept saying it was just all him, just all him, all him. And I will never forget, it was that voice that spoke to me on the inside and said, Yolanda, you are everything that you require to be Yolanda.
I
And
love
that
it.
there is nothing outside of you that is any greater than anything that's inside of you. Now, we've heard that said so many times now since we've been on this journey, but I heard that internally. And I remember hearing just as clear, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility only. I had heard that before in a different way when my father told me, Yolanda, your temper is your problem
Mhm.
and your problem only. And I strongly advise that you do something about that. And then he said, you know what? If you don't do anything about it, I'm going to do something about it. And I thought, I don't know what it is he's going to do about that, but I think I'd better do something about
Yeah,
that.
right,
So,
Yeah.
maybe.
so I remember when I told Oliver, I said, you know what? I release you from that. My happiness is my responsibility, and that is no longer on you. And it
Mhm.
changed. It just changed so many
Yeah.
things. It just changed because I had already known that my joy is inside of me. Joy is not outside of me. Joy is in me.
Mhm.
And so, and I was like, okay, if it's in there, then why am I having such a hard time?
Yeah.
And why is it, why am I not feeling joyous? I mean, why am I not feeling happy? I mean, why? It was just exhausted. I was literally just exhausted. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to prioritize
Yeah.
and I'm going to do the things that are important to me. And
Mm.
what was important to me was to make certain that my children had these grand experiences. I mean, that we got to spend time together and that you focus. I mean, that was what was really important to me. All the other stuff can get done. And if it doesn't, it really wasn't that important. But I was trying to do it all.
Yeah.
So that was one of our defining
Turning
moments.
points.
That was
Yes.
that was a turning point for us
Yes.
because then he didn't have that all that pressure of trying to um to make me happy. Now, I was not one of those females that didn't know I knew what I wanted. So it wasn't one of those kinds of things, but it is good to be aware of your internal self and to listen to that voice.
Yeah, and our relationships are our biggest teachers. And
Yes.
so, yeah, and it's that I feel like, yeah, a lot of the biggest moments are, when a relationship either ended or began, or, it's like, but really, I believe our relationships are a reflection of us and how we see ourselves. Yeah. And then, like, whenever we say, like, you're not making me happy, which of course, it's like, it's my feelings, right? So it's like, like I gotta, take back, charge of my own feelings.
Right.
And then there's still just like on a practical level of living with someone and doing life with someone. Lisa Nichols has this term called carefrontation. And so
Oh,
Carefrontation.
yes.
carefrontation. I love it. I love
Let
it.
me write that down. Carefrontation. All
It is
right.
so good. It's really good. Because so when I went on her retreat, so after the Speak and Write to Make Millions event that we went to 2019, then I signed up for the retreat there because I was like, oh, well, it's funny because I asked for a sign. I said, if I'm supposed to go do something with Lisa after this event, like make it clear. Like I want to know what I need to do because all of them sounded good. I didn't know if I was ready for any of them, but I was like, make it clear. So I was just making some coffee in the hallway, and then somebody else was like, "Oh, excuse me." I'm like, "Oh, what do you need?" And I just poured him some coffee, and he went off. But then one of she had some people in the background scouting for people in her dynamic women's retreat. And so she's like, here's an invitation to go to Lisa's room on the break. So I went to her room. She gave me a big hug and was like, I hope you can make the retreat. And I was like, okay, if that's not a sign, then I don't know what is. So
Big sign.
yeah,
If
so
you
I
ask
signed up.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ask for a sign, you would certainly get one. But okay, if you're just joining us late, thank you for tuning in to Truly Live, this
Yes.
special edition. And tonight we are here sharing our stage with none other than Terri Wade, who is an author, a professional spiritual coach, and she also speak on different stages. But Terri, you got people listening
Oh,
live.
and let's please say she's got a book that's going to be released soon. The
Yes.
name of that book is A to Z Happy. And so, yeah, oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the rough draft copy. I had to look over, make sure it was all good. Even though I found a couple things after it went to print, but it's in print and it'll be ready. The pre-order is available now, but
Oh, outstanding,
yeah,
outstanding.
that's good.
And so, and I'm going to give you something to post so that people
Okay,
can know
yeah,
where to go.
let's do that. Let's
All
do
right.
that.
Hang on a second. Terry sent that to me today.
Yeah. Well, it's a-z
There it is.
happy.com. So just like the
Yeah.
book here, just a-z happy.com. And then that'll take you to the pre-order page. Yeah, it's $20 for the book. And it has the A to Z, all the letters of the alphabet. It starts with a quote, and then it has my, lessons, experience, and knowledge on whatever the letter was that day or the word of the day. And then there's some affirmations because I believe affirmations are super powerful. And we're always affirming to ourselves, whether even if it's
Yes,
negative, we're always
yes.
whatever we're telling ourselves, we're affirming. So some positive affirmations and then a lesson. So a takeaway lesson. So the physical book's nice because I did put some room. You'll see some room like to write down the takeaways. So it's like
So
a
it's a
journal
very
book in there.
yeah. So it's a very practical book, and
Yeah, yeah.
right.
I just want. I really. I spent so many years studying, and I was studying, studying, and I'm like, why is my life not changing? And it's because I wasn't applying what I studied. I
There
wasn't,
you,
So the application of knowledge. So that's why I have made lessons for people to do every single day so they can apply the lesson, that knowledge that they just learned from the word of the day. So
Yeah, well, we know about that, and what we say here at All Things Truly is that uh, with no action, when we don't take action on these principles, that it's just entertainment.
yeah,
And
exactly.
though Yolanda and I can be very entertaining, but it's our goal for our viewers or our clients or whatever to get to the outcomes that they want in their life. And but okay, so we got people listening today. We got people that'll be listening to the replay, and they're thinking, we don't have to look very far
Yeah.
to know that um, there's a lot of turmoil in the world, both home and abroad. In politics and in sports and in arts and in science. I mean, it's kind of everywhere, and it's been broadcasted with a loud voice. And now here you are sharing this A to Z happy or happiness.
Yeah.
Uh, how do people really, make the transition from being so consumed by the negativity that's happening to discovering that inner happiness that you're talking about in your book?
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I would just say to get quiet. I feel like there's so many answers and beautiful, just wisdom and stillness. And there's so many things going on. We have like 80,000 thoughts every single day. And so if you can quiet your mind and get still, and there's, distraction. And sometimes, I thought, oh, in the morning I'm gonna wake up and listen to motivation. But even still, I'm unplugging from my own power source and I'm plugging it into somebody else. And so I'm giving my power away all the time by constantly going outside of myself. But the power is really within us. And so when we can get still and quiet and feel the power within us and listen for the answers, and it'll come to us. So if you want to be happy, I say ask and it's given. Like, show me the way. And then gratitude is one of the biggest things. You guys started with gratitude. If you just start, you can't be grateful and stressed out at the same time.
That's
So
right.
yeah, if you just start saying, and it doesn't have to be grand things. Like sometimes it's like, oh, when I buy a house, I'll be, happy and grateful for that. But no, I'm happy for my breath. I'm happy for the sunlight. I'm happy I have running water, clean water. And then if we even think about it, the way we're living now in this 21st century, people in the 1800s didn't have, flushing toilets. And so how grateful are we for a flushing toilet?
Right.
Like we don't think about that.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you've ever had to camp or you didn't have indoor plumbing, I mean, people don't understand when we say that under our breath. We're like, "Whew,"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Woo, yeah, I know.
yeah. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
So Yolanda's you're putting into the
So,
chat there
yes.
how you
So,
can get in touch with Terri.
Thank you.
And so, Terri, uh, what would you say one of the outcomes you like to see from this project, from your book,
From the book. I have a mission
for the
to
reader?
for the reader?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So for the reader, what I want for the reader is I want them to realize that happiness is within themselves. And I really want them to have a guide to come back to every day. Because the whole goal, so the premise is a 30-day guide to making happiness a habit, awakening our purpose, and experiencing the love, peace, freedom, and abundance that is our birthright. So the goal is to make happiness a habit by learning all of these tools and techniques. There's forgiveness, there's gratitude, changing your mind, trusting, developing that trust, because trust would settle every problem now, as Course in Miracles would say. So, just going back to all these tools and realizing it's really within yourself. It's a choice to be happy. So you could choose at all times. Energy is not created or destroyed. Everything's all evenly present. So at all
Ho ho
times,
ho ho ho! You say that again.
yeah. So
Say that again.
wow.
energy, it's not created or destroyed. It's always evenly present at all times.
That's right.
And it's kind of like, they say, like Bible says, like ends already written. Course in Miracles says there's a holographic holy instant. So, well, they say holographic, but I put that there. But there's just a holy instant. So it's all here. It's all evenly present now. Even Einstein says past, present, and future are now. So really, it's just um yeah, just coming back to that now moment and realizing I get to choose happiness right now, because you can focus on the negative or you can focus on the positive, because at all times there's something negative to focus on. You can focus on the war, and you can do something about it, or not do something about it and just be mad about it, or you can, try to raise your vibration, maybe try to raise your prosperity so you can donate if you feel inspired to do so. But you get to choose at all times. Am I going to focus on joy, or am I going to focus on lack, fear, scarcity,
Yeah.
shame, blame, guilt, all of those low vibe feelings? So I would say it's a choice. If you want to be happy, yeah, you get to be in charge of you and knowing that, and on a deeper level. So when I was really sad and depressed, I didn't have self love, I didn't have self worth, or I didn't have self belief in myself. And so start developing that within yourself, and then all the other things will start to come. Then you'll start learning, then you'll start implementing, then you'll start attracting. So I think, yeah, really, and dig deep. If it's, why do you feel that way? What was it? What do you need to forgive in the past, that's making you feel like you're not worthy or you're not lovable? So that's all I got to say about that.
So we love here on Truly Life. What we speak about all the time is, um, you know, what has happened to us is just what has happened to us. It's not who we are. It's
Yes.
just
Our
it's just
experiences.
an experience. It's an
Yeah.
experience. And what we can do is, instead of, like all the people who've been doing all these grandiose things, they're not afraid, they don't fear failure. And so we don't see fear as failure. We see failure as feedback. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that we always say is, okay, so when there's a situation and you don't like the outcome of the situation, what lesson did you learn from that? Or what lesson can you learn from that? And if you learn a lesson in that, then there's no way that even that experience can be a negative experience, because you've learned something now that is going to, benefit you, or to further, to expand your awareness, or to serve your vision, or whatever it is. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all for harvesting the good
Yes,
and forgiving all the rest.
that's right.
That was one of Bob's
Yeah, he did say that. I was like, I recognize that.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, harvest the good because there's good in everything.
So
Yeah.
we grew up hearing, "Eat the meat,
Yes.
spit out the bones."
Yes.
That was the saying that we heard growing up
Right.
the whole time, which is the same thing. Get the
Yeah.
good out of it, and then what's not good for you, let that go.
Yeah. Let it
Yeah,
go.
yeah, let
Yeah,
it go.
absolutely. Well, look, we're so excited for the release of your book. I've already ordered my copy, and I mean, you're talking about a menu. And your book is like a menu. You go to the book and you decide, what do you want in this moment? Do you want an
I
A,
promise.
or do you want an M, or do you want an O? And you just go there, right? And grab that
Yeah.
happiness, right?
Yes.
Because all of it's in consciousness, right? Happiness is in awareness, it's in consciousness,
So
you
much.
know. So if you want the happy, you want more happiness, you get what? The happy consciousness, right? It's
Yes,
what we say
yes.
here at Truly.
So
Wow, Terry. Well, we're so excited about how this project is going to help so many others,
thank you.
and you are the perfect person to write that book about happiness because, like Yolanda said earlier, I mean, your vibe is a display of inner happiness, even though you express it through your smile and your energy, but it is a reflection of what's on the inside of you, and so you were the perfect author to write that book,
I
and we
appreciate
can't
that
wait.
so
We can't wait to read it.
much.
So before we move to our next segment, do you want to kind of wrap up your time by
Yeah.
sharing something
Oh, now Dawn comes up.
that you haven't gotten to say up until this point?
I think I'm pretty complete, but I would just be so honored, if you got the book, share it with a friend. And if you, yeah, don't feel ready for the book, just join me online. I'd love to just connect with you. You can go to my website, terriwade.com, and all my socials are on there. If you want to send me a message, if you have any questions personally, I'd be happy to talk to you. And just, yeah, just know that you are loved. You are you like I love people so much too. So I think that's where the love comes in, because I'm so happy to be able to serve and to see other people happy. And so I just want to say that I love you, even if I don't know you personally. That I love all of you watching, and I appreciate your time so much.
Wow, thank you so much. And there you have it. Terri Wade, the best-selling author, and her new release coming out, A to Z Happy. And Yolanda has posted in the chat here
Yeah, you
how.
know what? They did not come up from YouTube. So guess what? I am putting them up here.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see.
And so you can go there and pre-order her book. Oh wow, that's great! Right there, A to Z Happy, and go to a-zhappy.com, and you can purchase your own personal copy. I'm telling you, again, with the collective global um, distractions that are in the world right now, we all could use a little more joy, a little more happiness. And so your release is so timely, so
Mhm.
timely. All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, um, we have part two of tonight's episode of Truly Live, where um, we're going to bring on the birthday girl. We're actually going to bring her on live on the show tonight.
Terry,
And
we'll ask that you'll hang out with
yeah,
us
hang out with
so
us,
that she
Terry.
can meet you as
Yes,
Oh, I
well.
would
yes.
love to. I would love
Yes,
to. Love
yes.
to.
She's been listening to you in the backstage here, and I've been watching her expression. And the one thing that um, all of us have learned and continue to learn from the patriarch of my family, my mother, Yolanda's mother, and the mother and grandmother and great grandmother and great 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 grandmother. She's here with 5 generations all in her lifetime, and that is so much of a blessing.
Mhm.
And the one thing we've learned from her is that we are in control of our own. We're in control of our own decision to choose, and
Mhm.
no one can take that away from us. And like you said, happiness is a choice. And she continued to not only teach that, but demonstrate that in her own life. And I think that has something to do with the formula, that secret formula, that she have been standing in to, be living such a quality life at this stage and juncture in her life. And so, without any further ado, we're gonna bring on the birthday girl. And there she is. All right. All right. Well, hello there, Miss Blue. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm still enjoying my happy birthday.
I know you are.
Outstanding.
Happy
Yes,
birthday!
yes. I've had a great day today. Me and one of my best friends went out to eat lunch, and we spent the time together. And then she came. She had been trying to get to my house ever since she met me, and had never been able to get here. And her daughter brought her over here after we came back
Yay.
from the luncheons. So,
Good.
so we have really spent, and the thing is, her name is Bonnie Hunt, and we have the same birthday and the same age.
How about that?
That is
And,
great.
and she's Indian. She's
Oh,
not out. Yeah, she's Indian.
how wonderful,
So
wonderful.
we both have the same birthday and the same age.
Right. And you
And
guys,
Wow.
we were, in our first job out in the public here, we worked together in the mill for 25 years together, and we never separated. We've been friends ever since.
how about
That
that?
is
Yes.
wonderful.
How
So
about that?
they came by, her and her mother, and she had been trying to get to my house and couldn't find it for years. And her daughter got with her and brought her home, brought her over here to visit at my house today.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
loved it here too. They kept saying I had to show them the house, and they really loved the way, because they are a little bit different from us. You
Right.
know, Indians, they have different. thoughts and
Culture.
whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, they loved it here when they came here, and I was glad to see them.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we've been friends for about at least 50 years,
Wow.
and we never disconnected since we met.
Absolutely.
We don't see one another all the time, but she's had a lot of ups and downs in her family, and I always connected with her and fix them a big dinner or whatnot and take it to them. So we have never separated since I met her.
Absolutely.
And one other girl that was within supposed to be in our group, she the one that her husband died last week, and she wanted we wanted her to go with us to eat, but she's still in her little ways, and so we just let her rest and have peace, and we'll get together again soon.
Absolutely.
Outstanding.
And
Wow.
I enjoyed this lesson tonight. I
Oh,
really enjoyed it. I could see the love in this lady,
Ah,
and
right.
I'm so glad I got to see it too.
Yes. So,
Yeah,
So Terry, meet Mama Blue.
Yes.
hi, Mama Blue. So nice meeting you.
yeah, nice meeting you too. I
You
have
look gorgeous.
I have a great family. I'm the mother of seven children, four boys and three girls, and every one of them is still living. And every one of them has had great lives, and I've enjoyed being in their company. And whatever they decide to do that's good and real, I'm with them all the time.
Yes, she
I
is.
don't miss these services every week. I'm enjoying them, and I just learned something else tonight.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Well, Mama stays on her growing
We
edge,
love how she stays on her growing
and
edge.
she amazes me all the time. I called her last Monday. I said, "Mom, what are you doing?" She said, "Well, I was out power washing my house."
We don't power wash our
We don't
house.
even. I don't even power wash my own house. And
Well,
this was on Monday. Then I called her on Tuesday. I said, "Mom, what you do today?" "Oh, I was out raking the leaves. I getting all the leaves up in my front yard, and I just decided to come in and get some lunch." I said, "Okay." I called Mama later on. I said, "What you been doing?" She said, "Oh, I decided came in and got some rest. I decided to go back out, and I got the leaves on the other side of the house." So this is my mom, right? This is my mom, and like
A busy lady.
she maintains the interior and the exterior of her home. She lives
Like
uh
she wants to
like she
live.
like she wants to live.
That's right.
She still drives, she still manages her finances, she
She's
still
an active, supportive community member, as you've heard her say.
absolutely
She loves her family. She loves her and her extended family. My mom passed in 2011, and this is my mom now. And she's always been my mother in love, because that's exactly how she's always been.
yeah.
It's been a love relationship from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So love and respect and adore and admire her greatly.
Yeah. So she gets a lot of onlookers all the time
Yeah.
because they're wondering what in the world is Miss Blue doing? So,
yeah,
Mama, what would you say is what would you like to share? Like, what would you say is the key to your happy life, your A to Z happiness? I guess you might say.
my godliness.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
my godliness. If I didn't have my godliness, I couldn't have uh, got all this done. But if I was gonna try to do it myself,
Mhm.
but with God, you can do anything but fail. And
Out.
He gives me the strength to do it. I don't do it because I have to. I don't do it just because it's to be done. He's guiding me, my mind, my soul, my strength, and my care about things. I love the real things, not the devil's thing. I love it. And without that, you wouldn't know the way.
That's right.
I follow his way, and he guides me through everything. I can do anything I want to do. I can.
Yes.
I can sing. I can pray. I can Preach. Come on.
Preach.
I can do it. I can. I really
Yes.
can.
Yes.
At
Well,
91 years old, I can
yeah,
do anything
Mhm.
anybody else can do. And
yeah.
that's what I do, and that's what I have done all of my 91 years.
Wow.
Outstanding.
I
Well, what?
I love the truth and I hate the devil.
Mm.
I love the truth. And the truth will make you free.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, what we admire most about you is your service to others
Yes.
and how
Hmm.
you're not a respecter of person, but that you let that love that you experience uh, be shared with everyone equally.
Yes.
And that's the thing that I watch you do, and I said, you know, I want to be just like that. And so you are my model for life.
Yes.
I mean, you are my model for life
Yes.
because you demonstrate that truth that you believe in, and
Yes. And I brought my children up so they follow through what I done. If I had not brought them up right, they wouldn't be right.
absolutely.
I
Yes.
started and I worked 4 different uh, uh, jobs, so to speak, till I was 72 years old. And I could have kept working. I didn't quit because I was sick or nothing. Matter of fact, I've never been real sick. I've never been real sick. I've had days I didn't feel the same, but
Mhm.
I worked it up and got up and kept getting up. So that's what you have to do to make it through this world. As long as you stay on the right track with the Lord, because He's the only one can help us, and stay on the right track with Him. He makes it easy for you. This stuff I do ain't hard to me. It's easy because I love the Lord with all my heart, and whatever I do it from my heart. Some people try to get over and get by not following what God would have us to do. And that's what cut your speed down.
Mm.
But if you do what He tell you to do in your heart, not just to be doing something, do it in your heart. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for other people. That's another one thing that will get you through. Uh, Everything don't it ain't for you, and if it ain't for you, you got to be able to give it up and forget about it.
That's
Talk
right.
to the Lord about it, and He will guide you in which way you need to go. Because
Wow.
our
Mm.
people uh, fussing and grumbling right now. Some of them old as I am, but some stuff you have to let it go. That's what you have to let it go.
Yes.
And they two faced it or whatever you call that. And then stuff don't work out for them. They want you to tell them what happened. I know what happened. Took things in their heart, in their own hand,
Mhm.
and you can't do that. You got to give in sometime.
Mhm.
All the time. If you ain't right,
That's right.
some people won't give in and knowing they ain't right.
That's right.
But I take you know what I take the lesser and let you have the bigger.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what God wants us to do. If you think you ought to have everything in your way, it's not like that. You got to be able to let go and let God. Oh, when I talk about it, it makes me happy.
Well,
So
there you.
thank
Well, there
God.
you.
I
Well,
thank God for this service. I don't miss it, and I don't plan to miss it, and I'm gonna stay with them as long as I can.
Well, we certainly
I am
appreciate.
designed for a long life,
We certainly
long
appreciate your.
healthy life. I ain't talking about sick life.
That's
I ain't
right.
never been sick. Thank
That's
the
right.
Lord for that.
That's
'Cause I try to do right. I
Well,
do
we
right.
certainly appreciate your support,
Yeah.
yes.
and it's such an encouragement not only to Oliver and I, but to the Truly Live community and other people. You're
Yeah.
such an inspiration.
Absolutely.
So we've had with us. We're speaking with Mama Blue right now. Today is her 91st birthday, and we're saying happy birthday to her. But
Mhm.
we also have our special guest Terri Wade on.
Yes.
Her new book, A to Z Happy. You can pre-order that now by going to atozhappy.com. And then
Mhm.
you can connect with Terri. Let's see, we've got some others. You can connect with her on her Instagram that's posted. She has a Tuesdays with Terri, so you can spend some time with her there, and then
Mhm.
you can also connect with her. Let's see, I've got her Facebook that I put in here too. Let's see, where is that one at? Oh, let's see. Here's Facebook.
So Terry, can you share what's that Tuesday with Terry about?
I was just getting mentored, and they were like, "You should come up with like a weekly show so people can connect with you and know about you." And so
Mhm.
I heard there was this book, Tuesdays with Maury, and they talked about in the Tuesdays with Maury book just life and death. It was a guy that was on his deathbed, and he was interviewed about the questions of life, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll just kind of spin on it." And this is actually before I really knew that in depth the Tuesdays with Maury, but I just thought Tuesdays with Terry sounds like a fun day of the week to go live. And then I heard that and I was like, oh, that's perfect because I talk about, like life and wisdom. And
Mhm.
so I was like, that's just going to be my show.
All
So.
right.
All right. And
Well,
that
there's her Facebook information. You can connect with her there. So
yeah, the Tuesday with Terry is a Facebook Live, correct?
I do it on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and then I
Okay.
repost on YouTube as well.
All
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Well, wow, man, we have been A to Z tonight in happiness.
And we went to 91
And it
as well
Yeah.
oh,
for Mama Blue's birthday.
absolutely. And we've been in the
So we got
celebratory
we
mode.
got the we got all of the alphabet and we got a couple of the numbers in there too. Because
Absolutely.
she's number one in our book.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Well, look, we're
I want that book.
gonna
We will pre-order one for you too. We most
Okay.
certainly will.
yes.
I'll
All
sign
right.
it too. I'm going to sign it for you, Mama Blue.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
All
okay.
right.
Thank you so much. I
Wow.
I can see the love in her.
Yes.
Yes.
Just like I see the love in you too.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
I enjoyed the show tonight.
Thank
As,
you, Mama.
as usual, that we have a good time every week. I be
We
looking
do.
forward to it.
We do every week.
Yes. And what Mama Blue is talking about is that though we haven't been on live platforms this year, is because we made a decision to take a deep dive with our patrons, which is our paid community,
Mhm.
supporters that support us. And we're on every Thursday night for uh,
About an
some for
hour and a
about an hour
half.
and a half, sometimes two, doing some laser coaching
Yeah.
Mhm.
with our community.
We're
And
currently in week 20. It's actually the 19th chapter of a 24-week deep dive book study that we're doing. Terry, we'll have to turn you on to this book too.
yes,
But
Yeah.
boy, is it a mind opening, mind
Mhm.
expanding experience that we've been having. So we are still
Yeah.
we're on every week with our community, and we jump on live every now and then. So this was a great opportunity for us to be on with you, Terry. Uh, Looking forward to reading the book.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, this is we may decide to do this one as a book study too.
absolutely. And again, if you like to connect with Yolanda and I and support our work and what we're doing, and also to receive some group coaching, you can go to www.patreon.com forward
Mhm.
slash truly live, and you will have a few options there to join our community.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We do
And
truly life lessons. It's just we do it. We do a lot of stuff, and it's fun. It's expansive. It's transformational. It's growth. It's all about
it's
love.
practical.
It's practical, but it's all about love.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we're all about helping you get to the outcomes and the results that you would love to enjoy in
Yeah.
your life, because we believe that you can live the life that you desire.
Mhm.
And but it's a science to it, and we want to teach you those science principles, life principles,
Yes.
so that you can close the gap between where you are and where you love to be.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Amen.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. It's been a wonderful, and when we sign off, we got a little special tribute to my mother on her 91st birthday. And
Mhm.
so with that,
Well, before we do that, let's do what we always do.
okay,
We do the Dalai Lama has done a loving kindness meditation, but we do this meditation as a prayer. We say it as a prayer, and we do this daily for our family, for our patron community that's just like family, for our friends, but we extend it to the entire world. So let's do that. Okay.
absolutely.
So thank you all for being with us.
Yeah.
We don't take this for granted. We love and appreciate you. We
Mm.
bless all of you who've joined with us and all of those that you hold dear in your heart.
So may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
Mhm.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
And may you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and
Mhm.
good purpose.
That's the Dalai Lama's loving kindness meditation. And Oliver and I add to that, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being on the planet. And
So
so it
it is.
is.
All right. And
Mm.
with that, my name is Oliver,
I'm Yolanda,
and together we are the
the OK
OK Blues.
Blues.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know I have not always been what you want me to be. Even at times I pushed your sweet love away, but you stay right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all the guilt and shame. Love is enough to make up for what made. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is